بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, inshallah we will continue our talk about the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our series from the lives of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And today's companion is Abul-Aass ibn el-Rabiee. This is his name, Abul-Aass, the son of al-Rabiee. So his father is al-Rabiee and his name is Abul-Aass. Abul-Aass means the fathers of al-Aass. And I think this kunya means that he was a headfast and he was a man of determination. His real name, as most sources agreed, is al-Qasim. And he is related to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam because his grandfather is Abul-Uzza ibn Abd Manaf ibn Qusay. And Abd Manaf and Hashim were brothers, and they both were sons of Qusay. So Abul-Aass ibn Rabi'a mother, her name is Hala bint Khuwaylid. And Khuwaylid here should ring a bell because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam first wife, Khadija, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with her, her name was Khadija bint Khuwaylid. So yes, Khadija was his aunt, maternal aunt. And she's the one who approached Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to accept him as a husband to his daughter Zainab. And today we're actually telling or talking about a love story between a husband and his wife. And in this love story you will see how much Abul-Aass loved his wife Zainab and how much Zainab loved her husband Abul-Aass. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started to receive the revelations, Abul-Aass was already a husband to Zainab, and her sister Ruqayya was a wife to Utbah, the son of Abu Lahab. Abu Lahab was the paternal uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started to make his da'wah public, Abu Lahab, the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Lahab said to the people of Quraysh, "Let us make Muhammad be busy with his own personal affairs. I will ask my son Utbah to divorce his daughter Ruqayya." And his son actually followed through and he divorced Ruqayya and he sent her back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then they went to Abul-Aass and they said, "Divorce your wife Zainab, the daughter of Muhammad, and we will give you any woman in Quraysh as a wife in her replacement." So Abul-Aass said, "I don't want to replace my wife. I love my wife and I will never choose any other woman from Quraysh over my Zainab." So he disagreed and he didn't accept their offer. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we all know, immigrated to Medina. She stayed with Abul-Aass until Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam immigrated to Medina. And after staying in Medina for some time, the Battle of Badr took place, and Abul-Aass was among the people who went out with Quraysh and fought against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Battle of Badr has a story. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually main intention was not to have a war with Quraysh, but they were after this trade convoy that came from Sham or from the Levant to Quraysh to take it for the money that they have left in Mecca by many of the Muhajirin. Abul-Aass was a trader. So he went with Quraysh with the intention of saving the trade, saving the convoy, not fighting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but the fight took place and he was among the mushrikeen, he was among the disbelievers to fight against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abul-Aass was taken as a prisoner of war. And Quraysh, after the battle, started to send to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to ask to free their prisoners and pay money in replacement for their prisoners, so to set them free. Zainab sent some money to Medina, including a necklace that was given to her as a present in her wedding night to Abul-Aass. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw the necklace and he had tears in his eyes. The law is the law. You know, when Muslims have a fight and they win, the loot that they get from the fight is divided, and 20% should go to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we all know that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will spend the money. All of his money were spent on the poor, and he would spend the money for the benefits of the Muslimin, or of the Muslims. He wouldn't spend any money on himself or in his family. This is very well known. So before even they divide this, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw the necklace and his eye watered, then he told the people, the companions, if you think it's a good idea to set her prisoner free and return her necklace back, it will be good, and it will be something that will make us happy, which means make me happy as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But if you don't, it is your right, it is your money, and this is something that was given to you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they said, we will set the prisoner free and we will send her money, Rasulullah, to make Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam pleased with their actions. When they set him free, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam approached Abul-Aass and he said, I want you to send me my daughter Zainab, and please know that from now on she cannot be a wife to you, because you are an unbeliever, you are a kafir or a mushrik, and she is a Muslim. She was among the first to believe in her father as a prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Abul-Aass gave his word to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, once I reach Mecca, I will send your daughter. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent a small company to wait outside Mecca for Zainab and to bring her back to her father, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Abul-Aass reached Mecca, he approached his brother, Amr ibn el-Rabiee. Amr ibn el-Rabiee. This was his brother, and he was a very good archer. He would throw very well with arrows. And he told him, I want you to prepare Zainab. I want you to give her whatever she needs, and put all her belongings on a camel. And I want you to take her outside Mecca, where a company of the followers of her father is waiting for her to take her to her father, because I gave him my word. Amr followed through, and he said, I will do this. So he took Zainab on the camel on the broad day in front of everyone in Mecca and went out. Quraysh, after deliberating the situation, went after Amr. So Amr, when he saw them following him, he took his quiver, he spread the arrows, and he said, oh, the people of Quraysh, you know I'm a very good archer. Wallahi, you will not touch Zainab before I put each of these arrows in one of you, which means that I will kill you all before you touch Zainab. So Abu Sufyan told him, my cousin, put your sword down and let me talk to you. So he gave him the word, come and let us talk. Abu Sufyan approached him and he said, my cousin, what you have done is wrong. Look at how Abu Sufyan is thinking here. Look at what was Abu Sufyan's main goal. It was political goal. He said, my cousin, what you have done is wrong. You have taken Zainab to her father in the broad day. What do you think the Arabs will say after what you have done? If you take her now and the Arabs know that we were defeated in Badr, we will have no reputation among the Arabs anymore. And we will be weak. We will be vulnerable. Any other tribe could attack us, could attack our trade convoys. This will put us in danger. And I advise you, take Zainab back and wait for a few days until all the Arabs know that we have returned Zainab back to Mecca. And all the Arabs talk about it, which means propaganda. And all the Arabs talk about it, and then you can take her out at night to wherever she wants to go, because we don't have any business with Zainab. Amru thought about it, and he said, this is a good idea. And he told Zainab about what will happen, and he took Zainab and waited for a few days inside Mecca, and then he took her at night to the people who were waiting for her, the company that Rasulullah sent, waiting for her to take her back to her father in Medina. Then time passed. Came Uhud, came the Battle of the Trench. Abul-Aass was not part of these two battles. And then, almost 5 or 6 months before Hudaybiyah treaty between Rasulullah and Quraysh, Abul-Aass, as I told you, was a trader. And he was coming in a convoy from the Levant to Mecca. And the convoy had like around 100 camels, carrying all types of goods that you can imagine. A company from the Muslim army attacked the convoy, and they took Abul-Aass as a prisoner too. And they took all the camels back to Medina. Abul-Aass could set himself free, and he looked for the house of Zainab until he knew it. He knocked the door and he told her that I am your husband and I want your protection. To give someone a protection means that if I approach someone in the old days of the Arabs, if I approach someone and ask him to give me your protection, it means that if I agree to give you my protection, it means that I, my family, my whole tribe will have to give this protection to this person. And they could go into war with whoever wants to do some harm to this person who asked for their protection. So he asked for Zainab protection. Zainab waited until the dawn prayer. Rasulullah came out from one of his rooms and he did the prayer. While doing the prayer, the dawn prayer, and it's most probably at the beginning of the prayer, Zainab yelled and she said, "Oh, the Muslims, or oh, the people, I am Zainab, the daughter of Muhammad, and I am here telling you that I have given my protection to Abul-Aass ibn el-Rabiee." After the prayer were done, Rasulullah turned and he asked the people who were doing the prayers with him, "Did you hear what I just heard?" They said, "Yes, Rasulullah." He said, "Wallahi, or by this, who have my nafs in his hand, I have not known anything about it until I heard it now with you. And I want you to know that any Muslim who gives his protection to anybody, all Muslims will give the same protection to this person." And then Rasulullah went to Zainab and he told her, "Take a good care of Abul-Aass." He didn't say your husband. "Take a good care of Abul-Aass, and please know that you are not a wife to him," which means that he should not touch you because he's a kafir and you are a Muslim. She said, "I will do." Then Rasulullah went to the company that took this convoy, because this company that took this convoy, all the convoy belongs to them except 20% that goes to Rasulullah. So Rasulullah told them exactly the same that he has said in Badr. "I will be pleased if you give the money back, and if you give the money back to Abul-Aass before he goes back to Medina. Don't forget that he's under the protection of Zainab, which means under the protection of all the Muslims. No one can lay a finger on him now. Okay? So they said, "We will do this, Rasulullah, if it will please you." He said, "But this is your right, and this is your money that was given to you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't have to follow my orders, but it will make me, it will please me if you do this." They said, "We will give him his money back." And the 2 or 3 of the companions of Rasulullah from this company, they went to Abul-Aass and they said, "You are the son-in-law of Rasulullah. You are the husband of Zainab, who is loved by Rasulullah. Why don't you embrace Islam? And we will give you all this money. All this money, it will be yours. You can keep it for yourself." So Abul-Aass said, "Wallahi, this is a very bad advice that you give me, and you are asking me to start my new faith and my new religion by being dishonest with the people of Quraysh. I will not do that." He took the camels and he went back to Mecca. Then he reached Mecca and he asked the people who gave him his money to trade with, and he gave everyone the money that he gave him, which means the capital, and the profits that he made for him. After he was done, he stood in the center of Mecca and he said, "Oh, the people of Quraysh, do I owe any one of you anything?" They said, "No. Wallahi, you have done a good job, and we all are grateful for what you have done to us." He said, "Then know that I am going back to Medina to embrace Islam by the hands of Rasulullah, which means in front of Rasulullah. And he went back to Medina. and he embraced Islam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him back his wife Zainab without any marriage ceremony, which means that she was already a wife, but wife of Abul-Aass, but he wouldn't be able to have her as a wife because he was a kafir and she was a Muslim. Now that he is a Muslim, she's his wife. She's back again as his wife. No need of any marriage ceremony or anything. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam described Abul-Aass, and he said, when he talked to me, he was honest, and when he gave me his word, he fulfilled it. Abul-Aass was the father of Umama bint Abul-Aass, and her mother was Zainab. Umama, when she was a little daughter, a granddaughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, used to play around Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would see her, and he would carry her while doing the prayers in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zainab also had a son. His name was Ali, the son of Abul-Aass, but he died at an early age. But Umama lived, and she got married, and she produced many other kids, and I think some of her descendants are still around nowadays. This is the story of Abul-Aass ibn el-Rabiee, the son-in-law of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who embraced Islam 5 months before Al-Hudaybiyah, which means that he spent like 6 years after the immigration of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Medina, away from his wife. He didn't marry another woman after Zainab, and Zainab gave her protection to Abul-Aass, and she kept waiting for Abul-Aass. She didn't marry anyone after Abul-Aass, and waited for Abul-Aass. Unfortunately, Zainab died after the reunion with Abul-Aass, almost a year after this reunion. She had some complications from some disease, and she passed away. And Abul-Aass lived after her without any marriage. This is the story of Abul-Aass ibn el-Rabiee, the son-in-law of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah, in our next episode, we'll talk about a new companion. And if you have any suggestions of a companion that you would like to hear about, please let me know in your comments. Thank you very much, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.